independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in southern Tasmania. Just let me make sure everything is caught up here with my iPad and my volume is okay. And while I'm doing that, you guys can have a look at the graphic that I have on my screen at the moment. Definitely is, and that's my voice, definitely. The graphic I have on my iPad is just telling you about my September to December 23 mini catalogue launch. It's happening on the 30th of September. It's always a great day. This is the 4th or 5th launch that I've done. Usually do one for every mini catalogue and annual catalogue as it comes out. For 75 Australian dollars, you will get a goodie bag with about over $55 worth of product. You will get access to a Facebook group where you'll be able to come back and check, check on the details and rewatch the videos through till January next year. You'll get a $15 product credit, which I put that up by $5 this time because I didn't think $10 was buying us anything these days. So $15 product credit from me, and you'll get 2 craft along cards. And I'm going to show you those craft along cards very soon because I just designed them yesterday and I'm quite pleased with the way they turned out. Also, in line with the new catalogue being available, I have a couple of product shares, and the close-off date for the first run of the product share is the 31st of August. So you've got, just under 2 weeks to get in on these. So there is a paper share. You get 1/4 of 8 packs, so the equivalent of 2 packs of designer series paper, including one beautiful specialty paper for $38 plus $10 postage and handling. So if you want to try these papers before you buy full packs, then my paper share is the way to go. Also having this is the first time I've done this one, a combined embellishments ribbon share. This is only about 5 new embellishments and roughly 5 ribbons in the new mini catalogue. I decided to pop those together. So you basically get half a pack of 5 brand new Christmas themed embellishments and half a roll of 5 brand new ribbons, and that is $64 plus $10 postage and handling. If you do both shares, you'll get both of them for $100 plus $10 postage and handling, which is a saving of I think $12 on the individual prices. Last thing I wanted to show, and something I'm really excited and proud of at the moment, is my Introduction to Card Making course. I'm going to make it available on an ongoing basis right through to April 2024. You can work at home at your own pace, finish it off in one afternoon if you want, or take your time over several weeks. You get to make 10 cards, starting at sort of really simple stamping, getting used to using your blocks, getting used to cutting your card bases, your layers, all those sorts of things. And as you work through the course, you'll get more exposure to different techniques, stamping off, fussy cutting, punching, bling ribbon, all those things that you get to sample as part of the introduction course. It is aimed at people who are very new to card making or stamping, or if you're coming back to it after a while and you'd like a bit of a refresher. You really only need to add a few basic tools, and for the $88.50 plus postage, you get all the cardstock, the DSP, the designer series paper, ribbon, bling, ink, everything, that sort of thing, to make those cards. So if you're interested in that one and that appeals, please reach out and let me know. So I will turn my camera on, hopefully the right camera, yes, and turn that off. So that's all the things that I have happening in the craft room at the moment. Oh, turned it back on again. Go away. There we go. Okay, so hoping that focus is going to be a little bit better, because it's looking very iffy on my iPad. So as you join in, please let me know. I haven't got the door closed. Last time it was iffy like that on my iPad, but okay on my computer. It was because of my internet. So I closed the door. No, I haven't closed the door. Let's see if that keeps doing that horrible lack of focus, or it might just be my iPad. Can somebody, if they jump on, I notice there's a few people watching, just jump on and tell me whether it's fuzzy with you, because that's just not good enough. Anyway, we'll just wait. I'll wait till a few people jump on, tell me whether it's fuzzy at your end, and we can start again or whatever if we need to. Yeah, fuzzy, somebody's saying there. It is here as well. I wonder what's causing that. That is my internet, I think. And that's not good. How can I fix that? So yeah, it's beautiful on my computer, which is really weird. I wonder if I turn the camera off and then turn it back on again. Just bear with me. I'm going to change cameras briefly and turn that camera off. Bear with me. Apologies for this, everyone. I unplug that. I don't think it's the camera. That's the problem. Let's have a look. Okay, that might be a wee bit better. Can somebody tell me if that's a wee bit better where you are? Yeah, somebody said that's better. That is so weird. I basically just unplugged my camera and then plugged it back in again. That is bizarre. I have to definitely talk. My husband is the reason I was a few minutes late this morning because my husband's heading up north to visit our youngest. So I may have to message them and ask them why the heck that happened. But anyway, we can keep going. That's great. These are the two cards I have designed for our craft along with my launch party. That's right. If you buy the kit, you'll get everything you need in the kit to make these two cards, and we'll make them together on the day. So we've got a Z fold here, which is really, really nice. This is the new dies from the mini catalogue, which I've used for the very first time. Absolutely gorgeous. And this is the really nice embossed specialty designer series paper. You'll get a quarter of a pack of that as well. So basically, to craft along with me, all you would need is some adhesives, so your dimensionals and glue, maybe some double-sided tape, and your favourite festive sentiments. You'll get everything else in your kit to craft along with these cards. So the ribbon, the bling, all the cardstock. I'll cut the stars and things for you. So we've got this little sort of really quite sophisticated Z fold, and then just a bit of fun, this little Christmas tree with the strips of paper there as well. That's actually just a card front because I was playing and I was quite happy with the way it turned out. So that's the two cards for Craft Along. So if you're interested in jumping into the launch and crafting along with these two cards, plus a whole lot more demonstrations, prizes, everyone gets a prize. It's a fun day, and they turn out really well. So let's get started with some crafting. Stop the advertising. Anyway, so here we are. This is the card I'm going to make for you today, or something fairly similar. It's got a fan on it, as you can see. I sort of folded the fan, which is really nice, and it is also a twisted easel. So it sits up like that on display. I'm using the Florist paper Florist dies here with our some cute little stitched sentiment boxes and things from our Stylish Shapes. Plus I'm using the Glorious, that's the majestically made paper that I've used in that one. So yeah, I have got my little flowers ready for the next card, but I haven't actually cut any of the cardstock or the designer series paper. We'll do that together. I just wanted to get the flowers right before I came on live, so that took me a wee bit longer than I thought. And I think I've made a bit of a breakthrough with the flowers. I'm much happier with the way the second flowers have turned out, the ones I'm going to show you on this card. So got my trimmer. Hopefully you can see most of it or enough, but I will actually put it was quite annoying actually. I was trying to find somebody who had a a blog or a tutorial for this card, and everyone who did them had videos with no measurements. So it was really annoying because I don't spend a lot of time watching other people's videos. I tend to find that I waste time watching other people's videos and I don't do my own. But yes, I just wanted somebody to give me the measurements. But yeah, they all referred me to these huge, long videos that I just didn't have the time to watch. So I sort of made it up as I went along. So yes, we're going to make it up as we go along. Okay, so I'm starting with a piece of Pretty Peacock cardstock. It's going to be 5 inches. So this card here, also the cards that other people were making were huge. They were like 6-7 inches square. So yeah, so I've sized it down to a 5-inch square card so that it's not so big. Okay, so I'm going to start with 5 inches, which according to my metal measure here is 12.7 centimetres. I'm just going to cut that. This blade needs replacing. So let me just score that with my fingernail to get the rough bits off. I might actually change that blade because I noticed yesterday that it was not good. It wasn't that old either, but I had just cut huge numbers of kits with it, so it probably didn't have the life that other blades would have. Thank you for your service, blade. Okay, so that's our 5-inch wide. Then I'm going to cut it 10 inches long, so 5 by 10, and 10 would be what? 25.4, according to that little bit there. I will write all these down, so don't worry too much about remembering them, because I will actually write a blog. Oh, not a blog, instructions. Okay, so I'm going to score it halfway to make a 5 by 5 card. There we are. Okay, then to form the twist, I'm going to score it from the middle bottom to the top left. So middle, bottom, top, left, just with a score. Okay. And then we get, that's our basic twisted easel card. Very similar to the one I did last week with the beautiful, 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 what were they? Deckled circles, which are brand new. Now this is Berry Burst, so I love the Pretty Peacock Berry Burst combo. Absolutely gorgeous. So this piece of Berry Burst is going to be 4 3/4 square. I'll just check that. Is that right? Yeah, 4 3/4 square. And it's just going to sit on the front like that, and obviously only be glued to the bottom triangle because we don't want to glue it to the top of the triangle. Okay, is everyone seeing the pictures okay? It's not blurry still? I'm assuming everybody's seeing it okay. And hearing okay. Okay, so we are going to use this majestically made designer series paper. Gorgeous both sides, but for the twisted easel part of our card, I'm actually going to use this Pretty Peacock tone on tone design, and I'm going to cut that to 4 5/8, which I think by the looks of there is about 11.7, something like that. 4 5/8. I hope that I remember how to do this. I have made so many of these, I shouldn't. So there's our twisted easel type get up. While we're at it, I'll also cut another piece of the same size Berry Burst for the inside, and a piece of white as well. So that had to be that there. 4 5/8. There we go. I think I just cut that Berry Burst the wrong width, the wrong length. Anyway, that's all good. So that's for the inside of our card, which we'll come to in a sec. Yeah, I did. I cut it the wrong width. That's okay. It'll go in there. No one will see. Okay, so that's what we need for our easel. I might pop that. Will I pop that together now? Yeah, I don't. No, I'll do the fan part now while I've got my cut and emboss out. So I'm going to use the other side of our piece of designer series paper, the sort of side with the beautiful flowers on it. And because we're working on a 5x5 card, I'm going to need 5 inches wide piece of designer series paper and 10 inches long. So the same dimensions that we used for our card base. So that's what we want. If you want to scale it up to a 6x6, you end up with a 6 inches high and 12 inches long. So that's your choices. Basically, it's the same dimensions. Now I'm going to grab my, forgive me, just thought of a new project for Stevie in the craft room. I want him to build me some shelves that'll go up under my craft desk. So I've got so much everything everywhere, and under the desk is sort of wasted real estate. So yeah, I might get him to build some shelves under there for me. Okay, so this is our piece of cardstock, and I'm going to score. As I'm making fans, I don't know about you guys, but I used to make fans when I was little. I don't know why. I used to just make them. Anyway, I'm going to score it at every ½ inch all the way along. I don't know about you, but my scoring board is slightly off. The numbers at the top don't necessarily correspond exactly where the groove is. So I basically just use it as a wee guide and know that I've got to go roughly where that number is, but it's not quite there. Anyway, so nearly there. So hopefully lots of you will join me for my launch. The close-off date for the payment is the 8th of September, so I can get everything ordered and sent to you in time for the event. If you'd like to come along and you can't pay the full $75 up front, I am quite happy to sort of take a deposit and then the rest as you can, as long as it gets to me before the 15th. Yeah, just then I've got no chance of getting you your stuff if it comes to me after that. Okay, so I'm just turning this into a fan as we do. So if you work in metric and you've got a metric scorer, it would be every centimetre that you pop your scores. So it's a centimetre fan. If that's what the word is, the dimensions are a centimetre. It means it's a little bit tighter than this one, but that's not a problem. Now, be careful with your designer series paper. I can see there that I have been a bit heavy-handed and I've actually popped the scoring blade right through that just there. I've been a little bit harsh. But anyway, so there's our fan there, or the starts thereof. Okay, so now what we want to do is grab some glue, and we want to pop some glue on the inside, just on one end, on the inside of each of those little fan blades. So I've just popped a bit in there, flip it over because it obviously needs to be glued from both angles, so it completely glues. Just glue some on that side as well. Then we're going to bring it together. Hopefully I'm not going to make a horrible gluey mess on myself. Just like that. Put a little pressure on that. Then I have here somewhere, and I told myself not to lose it, just a little alligator clip, and I'm going to pop that on there just to hold that in place while it dries. Okay, so there we are. That's our fan that we're going to pop on our easel card. So we'll pop that aside to dry, and we'll actually make the easel now. Okay, so we'll layer these up. So this is the inside. And you'll see here I've got the measurements slightly wrong with my berry burst layer, but that's not going to matter too much. Not enough to waste another piece anyway. There we are. Now, if you're in the Canberra area, 11 o'clock, if you're near Melba, which is a suburb of Canberra, and you'd like to pop in and see a fairly extensive craft room de-stash. I know of one that's happening. If you pop over to my friend Jan Casey's Facebook page, Crafty Bits and Bobs, she's having a huge de-stash this weekend, both days, starting at 11 o'clock. So take it from me, she has a fair amount of craft supplies that she is clearing out of her room to make room for new stuff. So pop over to her. She's in Melbourne. I won't give you any more details because that wouldn't be safe. But if you would like to know her details, as I say, please pop over to her Crafty Bits and Bobs website, Facebook page. And she showed me a picture of what she was selling, and yeah, I wish I could get there myself, to be honest. Yes, it was great. And if you do go as a result of what I've just said, please tell her that Julianne sent you. She'd just get a real buzz out of that. So would I. Okay, so we've popped our designer series paper on our berry burst layer, and then I'm going to pop it, as I mentioned, just on the bottom triangle of our card base. So just that's part. If I bring that in now, using our wonderful glue that gives us a bit of wriggle room, I can position it correctly, firm it down, and there is our easel. Okay, love those colours. Excellent. Okay, that's that one. So what we need to do now is attach our fan, which I'm hoping is nice and firm. Looks okay. Yeah, attach our fan to the front of our card like that. Now, the ladies that I did watch, as I say, I don't watch videos very often, but I did skim through a couple, used hot glue. Okay, so hot glue to pop that on there. Anyone who's watched me over the years has realised that hot glue and I are not a good combo. Normal glue and I are not a good combo, but if you make it hot, that would just be, yeah, it would be carnage. So I'm not using hot glue, but if you have hot glue and it treats you well, and vice versa, then go for it, use hot glue. I'm just going to use our normal glue, and trust me, as I did with my other one, it is just fine. You may have to give it a little while to cure off, but it's fine. So if you are not a fan of hot glue like me, then this is what to do. So I've just put a fair amount in there. I'm going to position it in the right spot with its little tail down in the bottom left-hand corner and sort of spread out those little fan blades a bit so it looks like it's nice and open. Now I will have to sit on that for a wee while till it starts to cure off. That's the advantage of the hot glue, I suppose. It's pretty much immediate. So I've just got a punch here, and I'm going to just pop that on there. Flip it over, actually. Pop it on there just to get it nice and firm so that glue will just start to cure off. So we'll pop that aside. So that's our little fan. There was another one I saw that a lady did was really good, but I didn't have time to work it out. She actually used like a little box, a little corner box that she used, which was really cool. So this one here, you can see I've used the paper Florist flowers, chopped this sort of little and big one in berry burst and bubble bath, and then this one here in white. I did a couple of little sprigs of flowers as well. The green is the peacock, pretty peacock. But I wasn't really happy with that. It looked a bit bland. So that's what I was working on before we actually got together, doing something a little bit more exciting with the paper florist flowers. So I've just stuck to the bubble bath and white. So I haven't popped, except for these little buds, I've put them in the berry burst. And I've used a smaller circle. With this one, I wasn't really happy that the big circle sort of covered my fan. I mean, really, it's all about the fan, not about the circle. So I went for a smaller circle. And I've given these little flowers a wee bit of a bend up, which I think is what a lot of people who use these paper flowers actually do. And I've never been a paper flower person ever, which you can probably tell by how much I struggle with it. But I'm a little bit happier with those, that they look a wee bit more natural, and there aren't too many crazy colours happening. So yeah, I think I made a little bit of a leap from that to that. Yeah, so if you like that, please tell me. Otherwise, I'll have to go back and work at it even more. So, yeah, so I've got a little spare one there, which I might bring into the pattern, but I'm not sure. So I also have, from our stylish shapes, I've got a little circle there, which will become the foot of our easel, and a little banner there, which will have my sentiment on it. Okay, let's see what's next. I might pop. That one's not quite. Let's see if our glue has set. Yep, looks like it has. That didn't take very long, did it? And let's have a look at our popping our little spray. So that's going to pop. The flowers are going to pop down in the bottom left-hand corner, and just to sort of cover some of the messiness that is that little end of the fan. So yeah, I think that's better. I'm going to add some bling, obviously, in the centre of them, just to give them a little bit of bling, a little bit of detail in the middle. But I think that works much better. Okay, so really all we have to do now is the sort of exactly the same as we did on the back. We just add mega glue on the back of our circle, position that where we want it on our card. So try not to take your flowers too far off the edge of the design, so not too far down the bottom, because they'll get into trouble. I mean, they're not into trouble. They get in the way of our easel mechanism, and yeah, not too far on that side as well. Now this card obviously isn't going to fit in any envelope that you may have in the craft room, so you may have to make a wee box for this one. And if you'd like, I will give it a try. I haven't made one, but I'm happy to give it a try while you watch. I think I've embarrassed myself enough today to give that a go. Now, that little bit of bud, I did actually take that on purpose. I didn't actually put that in, because I'm going to pop my sentiment box in here. I'm going to stamp it, obviously. I'm going to pop that in there. And then, like with the other one, I'll pop this little spray of flowers in there, so it's actually slightly overlapping the sentiment box like that. Okay, so that's why I didn't put that in yet. Okay, so let's pop a sentiment on. I'm going to use my gorgeous grape. And what sentiment was I going to use? This is the Translucent Florals stamp set. Comes in a bundle with dies, which is really, really handy. It's in the mini catalogue, upcoming mini catalogue, so it's available to customers from the 6th of September. We managed to get a little look of it for a worldwide demonstrator event last month. So I've had this one in the craft room for a little while. Really, really nice. It's probably the one non-Christmassy stamp set that's in the mini catalogue, because it is basically a Christmas catalogue. But I'm going to use this Happy Birthday, which is nice and small, and it's I quite like the simpleness of the font. I don't know that this card actually needs a fancy schmancy font. I think there's enough fancy schmancy happening as it is. So with my gorgeous pretty peacock and my little banner, I'm going to bring that in. I'm going to put my happy birthday pretty hard up on the left-hand side because I want to bring those little buds in. Yes, so I've got the whole weekend to myself, which is so nice. As much as I love hubby, I have been looking forward to him going away. He retired. And you guys who follow me realise that hubby retired during July. And it's been lovely having him home, don't get me wrong, but it is nice to have your own space from time to time when somebody is at home. And he's going really well. He's not lost for things to do. He's got plenty to do. But, you know, having that other person, I don't tend to just eat when I want or have a cup of coffee when I want. I tend to have to think of someone else, which is fine. But, yeah, I'm sort of glad he's gone away for the weekend. Isn't that terrible? Anyway, he knows I love him. And he took my car. He took my car after telling me he didn't want the new car. He took it. So, yeah, it goes to show he did really want the new car. So I've got his old crappy 25-year-old bomb in the driveway if I need to go anywhere, which I don't plan on it. I plan on just sitting here and crafting without, I've got some snacks. I don't think I'll move. There we go. So I've got those little flowers in there. I'm just going to weave the sentiment in amongst them. Just make sure that they don't cover it over too much and gently firm that down so it sticks. The glue is only at that left-hand end, but it should be enough. And then I will just glue those little flowers in place as well. Just slightly out of the way so they don't get in the way of my happy birthday. Where's my little tool here? Okay, that's that. Just out of the way of my happy birthday. There we are. I'll just be very gentle with that because I'll wait for that glue to take. So there's my little flowers and my happy birthday. Yeah, I'm liking that a lot more than the first one that I did. Okay, we'll add some bling to our flowers just as a little centres. Got some of my old favourites, my iridescent rhinestones. I think I found $1 for every one of these I've bought. I'd be able to fund my own retirement, I should think. So I'll use these brand new packet. Pop. Where's the medium ones? Medium one. And then, and a medium one in that one. And a big one. So what's that for? 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to pop another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a little one just over here. What do you think? Pretty nice. I reckon this one's probably going to get saved for a very special birthday. Oh, speaking of special birthdays, I think I saw Sally on. Sally's birthday on Tuesday. I will pop down at some stage, Sal, and deliver your class and your gems that you loaned me last month. I do have them. And yeah, before your birthday. So there we are. Okay, As with every easel, we need our foot. Now I've got this little circle here, which I was just going to use with the other card. I actually used, it is the same little circle, but I popped the spare pink flower over it. And when I popped it up like that, I didn't really like the way that the little flower was. It looked like it had fallen off. It was sort of unloved. So I thought this time I would just use the circle. Yeah, I'll just use the circle, and then it will just look like a plain circle. It won't look like the little flower's sort of been discarded and unloved. I might be reading too much into it, but I just didn't like it. So I've got some dimensionals on my little circle. You could put, if you had like a little follow-on sentiment, I haven't got one that's small enough, like happy birthday to you or something really tiny that could fit on that circle. I mean, you could make it a bigger circle. There we are. So I'll work out where I want my card to sit. Further back I sit it, the further back the circle has to go. If I want it to fit forward like that, the circle can be right at the front. So I'll pop it about there, that'll do. And that stops my card from falling over. And I like that plain circle a lot more. It just doesn't distract us from the pretty flowers. Okay, I think that's done. Is that done? Yeah, that's done. There we are. So that's my pink and or light pink and white flower version of the fan card. And here is the other one that I've started off with, which has a lot more colour going on with it. I don't hate it. I just didn't. I thought the extra colours were a bit distracting. So that's why I went with just the plain colours there. So which one do you prefer? The colourful flowers or just the plainer, well, the less colourful flowers? There's our two choices. I'm really happy with the way they've curled up. That's really good. That's really, I like that better. They look a lot more natural than just sitting there, sort of all one-dimensional there. This has got a bit more, yeah, a bit more movement in it, which is good. Okay, a box. Will I make a quick box? Let's make a quick box. I don't know how this is going to go because I haven't made a box for ages, but we'll give it a go anyway. So the fan is, we measured it, it was 1/2 inch high. Plus you add all the extra volume on top of there with our leaves. I think my box is going to have to be, probably to be safe, about 1 inch high. So it's going to have to be 1 inch high and just over 5 inches wide. Now I'm going to work in inches because I'm going to get myself in a horrible mess if I try to work in anything else. But I'll convert everything for you when I pop it up on my website. So let's give this a go. This could go terribly, terribly, terribly wrong, but hopefully it won't. Okay, so let's grab some cardstock. I might make my box in Pretty Peacock the same as the card itself. To open a new pack of Pretty Peacock. So if I make my box, say 5 1/4 square and 1 inch high, I need 5 1/4 for the centre, 2 inches on either side, 5 1/4, 6 1/4, 7 1/4. So I need a 7 1/4 inch piece of cardstock. You guys can watch this disaster unfold if I get it terribly, terribly wrong. Then I'm going to score 1 inch in from each side. And this should be the base of our box. Okay, grab my scissors and just cut in following the score line to the centre on 2 sides. Oh, a bit too far there. Okay. Fold these in and score them. Sorry if I went out of the screen then, apologies. might just move my trimmer for a sec while I score these properly. I want it to be nice. I want it to be a nice box, don't we? Okay, so I'll score that. Okay, a wee bit of glue on each of these little tags that we've made. I left my glue untapped too long. Come on. Oh, get my little, this is what I use. I've got a little proper one there. This is what I use to unclog my glue. So it's a dauber, and I've got a sewing needle stuck through it. I call it my little Dalek because I'm a bit of a Doctor Who fan. So that's my little Dalek, that he exterminates my glue clogs for me. He's a bit worse for wear, but he helps out a lot. So that would make no sense if you've never watched Doctor Who, but anyway, I'm assuming everyone's seen at least one episode of Doctor Who. So a little bit of glue there, a little bit of glue there. You would drool over the card. That's lovely to hear, Cheryl. Yeah, Deb, you like the less coloured flowers as well. Yeah, me too. And we'll do the same at this end. A little bit of glue there. And sorry if I'm coming up to close to the camera now, which is going to be horrible with its focus because I'm sort of going up and down in the foreground. So just forgive me. Hopefully it'll readjust itself when I go back to working on the bottom at the base. Unless it's gone horrible again. I noticed that it's exactly laggy as well on my iPad. Very laggy. Maybe Stephen turned the internet off when he went. Maybe, are you watching on YouTube, Deb? Is it the same on YouTube? Something definitely going on. Anyway, we'll get finished quickly and then I can turn everything off and on again. That usually works. But anyway, we'll just get this box done. So that's the base of our box. And so as you can see, we can pop our little card in. And maybe if I do the same again, I'll just turn my camera off and on and unplug it. Forgive me, in transmission. It's not a very good start to the week, is it? Here we go. Okay, so let's see how that comes back. No, it's no better on the internet than it was before, unsadly. Apologies for that, guys. Anyway, we'll just get this done. So that's our little box for our base. Here we go. So I'm just going to make a wee lid. So I thought I would just make the lid out of Designer Series paper. Hopefully I've got some that suits. So this is the same paper that I used for our, let's hope I've got enough of it. This is the same that we used for our fan. So let's see if we can make our lid out of that. Same thing, just decide how big we want it and add an inch. Actually, I might not add a whole inch. I might, because I only want the lid to sort of come down halfway. So maybe half an inch. So, and then it's got to be a wee bit bigger. It's got to be wee bit bigger than the base so that it can sort of fit nicely over the top of it. So the base was 5 1/4. So say if I make the lid 5 3/8. Excuse me while I think at the top of my head. 5 3/8 square. Then I need half an inch to make the sides. So that would be 5 3/8, 6 3/8. Let me make sure I've got enough. Yeah, looks like I might. 6 3/8, is that right? Where did my blade go? Got my scoring blade, but not my cutting blade. Where'd that go? I'll pop another one on. It must have dropped out while I had the... Oh, there it is. Must have dropped out while I had my... down on the floor. So 6 3/8. Let's hope we can go both ways. 6 3/8. That's 6 1/2, 6 3/8. There, just. And I'm going to very gently... that might be... Has that focus come back now? 1/2 inch I'll score. I think the focus has come back. So gently scoring 1/2 inch from the edge. So I think that focus has come back, hasn't it, guys? Looks better on my iPad. Ay, ay, ay. Maybe Stephen knew I was going to be on the internet this morning and turned it off. Anyway, same deal. I'm going to cut just on the edges to the score line on 4 sides, on 2 sides. Where is it? Oh, I didn't score very well. We'll pop some glue on our little tags again. To hold that a wee bit because it's designer series paper. There we are. So that's shaping up to a nice little box top, box lid. You could decorate. We could put our flowers on the top of the box as well, couldn't we? We could, oh gosh, the sky's the limit with the box. We could just make it really special to match the card inside with some flowers, maybe a sentiment. I won't do that today. I've had enough focus issues and glue today. Plus I've got lots to do to get ready for my launch, take advantage of my bachelor status. But there we are. So that's a little box lid. We'll bring back our... And that should, if I've done it right, yep, that fits. So because it's that wee bit larger than the box beneath, it actually fits nicely. You can use the same dimensions, of course, but your box lid you'd have to probably weave it down and feed it down a little bit more carefully. But this one's sort of got a wee bit of movement to go. So there we are. So that's our little box lid to go with our box bottom. And then that's our little card there inside. Okay, so as I said, I will pop the measurements on my website and pop them in the description to the video and on my Facebook page as well. So if you'd like to pop over and get those dimensions. But yeah, I'm happy with the way that turned out. I really love that fan and I like those flowers. And now it has a little box to live in, which is just gorgeous. You could grab some ribbon. You could grab some ribbon and tie. Oh wow! I'm going to make this box. This box is going to have a lot more. I'll grab some of the bubble bath ribbon and I'll tie it around and put a bow. But yeah, that's cool. Okay, I'll be able to let you go, or we'll be here all Saturday, and we don't want to do that. So thank you for staying with me. Thank you for putting up with those focus issues. I think it was because I just sort of mucked around too much up here and didn't give it a chance to focus back down in there. But Anyway, that's bizarre. Something to do with the internet. Probably Saturday morning, everyone is lying in bed watching YouTube videos or something. Okay, so thanks for joining me today, guys. A little bit longer than my normal because I did make that wee box. Watch for the measurements and the cutting instructions on my website and on my Facebook page. And yeah, I'll see you all again next time.